everybody, welcome back to the Great Ones channel, and welcome back to another ranking video. And today, I'm going to be ranking all 8 movies that take place in the Conjuring Universe, from worst to best. Yeah, it's pretty much just like this big horror cinematic universe, featuring a whole load of demons, and dolls, and nuns, and little girls. And just a whole bunch of jump scares. Okay, you know what I mean. Let's just get this over and done with so I don't get jump scared again. Oh my god! Let's start this ranking video. Coming to number 8 is going to be The Nun, who was first introduced in The Conjuring 2, and people thought, wow, this thing is actually really fucking scary, and people wanted to see more of it. So of course, it's gotten its own movie. And the main reason why I put this as my least favorite out of all the Conjuring movies is because it is just simply boring. It is really boring. It starts off very, very slow with a lot of exposition and shit. The characters are really boring and forgettable. The scares aren't really anything too special. It's a really dark movie with a lot of dark shots and scenes and stuff, and it gets pretty annoying really quickly. And there's nothing really interesting in this movie besides, I don't know, the ending of the movie, which has a bit of a connection to one of the previous Conjuring movies. Yeah, and then there was everything else, you know, like at the end where they're trying to kill the nun, and then the main lead ends up getting possessed by the nun, which happens a lot in these Conjuring movies. A lot of the main characters in these movies end up getting possessed, and they keep doing that over and over and over, which it's pretty annoying how many times they keep doing that stuff. And, you know, they end up killing the nun by... What the? Yeah, I don't know either. If you guys enjoyed The Nun, that's fine, I guess. I mean, I just found it really, really boring compared to all the other Conjuring movies that we have gotten. It's just got a lot of really lame scares, a lot of boring exposition, and boring characters, and there's nothing really special about this movie compared to all the other ones. So overall, The Nun is easily my least favorite Conjuring movie out of them all. It was just really boring. Hello. Okay, I'm sorry, I just had to. I had to do it. Alright, let's just move on. Sorry. Coming to number 7 is going to be Annabelle, the 2014 one, yeah. Before I actually start talking about this movie, I gotta say, these characters, man, I already fucking hate them for even accepting to want to keep a doll like this. Like, what the fuck? Look at this thing. Look at that. What the fuck? But yeah, I guess I slightly like this more than The Nun, but either way, not much really happened in this movie. It was still pretty fucking boring. It's just because not a lot happened. The doll itself, Annabelle, didn't really do much. It was mainly just some ghost doing some shit, and the characters being a little bit stupid as well. Just get the fuck up. What are you doing? So yeah, the main couple in this movie are a little bit strange, and even the acting from both of them, from the actors, they just act like they don't want to fucking be there. They don't even want to be in this movie, which is kind of funny. There's a fucking demon who kind of chases them around at the end, which is very much a thing that happens in all these fucking Conjuring movies, so yay. And there was only like one jump scare in this movie that really got me. Oh my god, I still remember my reaction to that. Holy shit. Overall, not really much happens in this movie. It's just literally some demon haunting this wife and husband, and the doll doesn't even really do much. It's just kind of there for posters, I guess. Like, hey, look, it's a doll in a horror movie, come see it. And that's really it. So yeah, the characters in this movie, the wife and the husband, are just kind of dumb, and the acting from the performance from both of them is kind of like, they look like they don't even want to be in this movie. And yeah, the movie does have its moments of like, okay, this isn't too bad, but overall, really not much happens in this movie, and it's just it's boring, man. Coming to number 6 is going to be The Curse of Lirona, because it's apparently a part of the Conjuring Universe, so it's going on the list. Yeah, Lirona, who is a demon woman thing who loves to drown kids. Yep, pretty simple. And yeah, this Lirona creature is at times just kind of just treated as your typical demon that you would expect to see in a Conjuring movie, and sometimes she is kind of creepy. Like this scene where you got the little girl outside and her umbrella's being like, you know, going near a pool, and you know, La Llorona is known for drowning kids, so you're just kind of like sitting there like, oh no, oh no. It's been a while since I've seen this movie, so it's a little hard to remember everything. I remember it did get a little slow when they introduced the priest character who was in the first Annabelle movie, and overall the movie just wasn't really much compared to all the other Conjuring movies. I know I might have said that a couple times, but really it isn't. Like, just the way the movie ends, it's just kind of like your typical happy ending. They kill the demon. The end! Yeah, family's happy, demon's dead, and whatever. I don't know, I guess I was just expecting a bit more, but yeah, I don't know, the mother and the son and the daughter characters they're okay, they're not too bad, and the La Llorona creature does actually do some pretty creepy stuff in this movie. But overall, I guess because of the happy ending and all that, this movie isn't really much compared to all the other Conjuring movies. It's not a complete shit movie, but it's not great as well. It's fine. So yeah, Curse of Lirona it's got its moments, but overall it's just kinda nothing really too special. Coming to number 5 is going to be Annabelle Comes Home. Oh my god, Annabelle is fucking famous, holy shit. This is the third Annabelle movie, and I remember having an okay time watching this movie. You know, some of the characters, the new characters are a bit fucking retarded and do some pretty retarded things in this movie, and yeah, but other than that, there's a lot of different demons and stuff in this movie. You got one with fucking pennies on its eyes, and you got a bride holding a knife that I actually thought was really creepy, so that was pretty cool. And then there's a fucking demon at the end of the movie. Yeah. So yeah, this fucking girl just goes down in like the Warren's collection thing and just starts touching everything and messes everything up. Like freaking retard. So yeah, that's how it all starts, and just a bunch of crazy stuff happens. That is pretty fun at times. This movie is pretty fun at times. There's times where it kind of tries to build up to a scare, and it just goes on for way too long, and where it gets kind of boring. And yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, so some of the characters are a little bit dumb, and scenes go on for a little too long. So there are some jump scares here and there that are like, okay, that was pretty good, and some jump scares where are like, okay, that was pretty fucking predictable, and yeah, all that stuff. And there is nothing really different about this movie. I'm so sorry, there is not really much. The Warrens show up for a little bit, which was kind of nice. It was nice to see them again for a little bit. It would have been nice if they were the main characters, but oh well. And yeah, this movie's it's fine. It's got some fun moments here and there. It's got some scary scenes, some scenes that go on for a little too long, but oh well. It's an okay movie. Yeah. Coming to number 4 is going to be The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. Oh my gosh, I have talked about this movie so many times now, so I'm going to try to keep this quick. It's a fine movie. It's not perfect. You know, it's got some pretty predictable jump scares. The characters are okay. It was good to see the Warrens again. They're very good in this movie. And the movie does have some pretty cool scenes here and there, like a scene that takes place in the forest. It's kind of off seeing that scene, rewatching that scene, because, you know, Ed Warren recently had a heart attack, and now here he is, they're just allowing him to run around in the woods. He can't fucking do it. Like, look at him, he's fucking sweating. Like, look at this dude, he can't fucking run. But either way, when the movie is not focusing on scares and all that stuff, it can get interesting, and times it can get a bit slow and boring and a lot of exposition and all that shit. So yeah, it's not always fun. We are introduced to some like creatures and demons, like this thing. A little bit weird. There's this woman in the movie who's like the fucking villain in this movie, who has powers or something and does rituals and shit. A little bit weird. And yeah, she does get a pretty gnarly kill at the end, though, I gotta say. And some of the jump scares are a lot more predictable in this movie. Like, you literally know it's coming. Oh, I wonder who's gonna be behind him. Oh my god. Like I said, I've talked about this movie so many freaking times, so all I can say now is that The Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It, is not a perfect movie. It's got some cool scenes here and there, but when it comes to it like trying to be scary and stuff, it doesn't really always work. And it's fine. It's not perfect, but it's just fine. Coming to number 3 is going to be Annabelle Creation. Now, I had a lot of hopes going into this movie, knowing it's from the same guy who did Lights Out, which I absolutely loved. I love that fucking movie. I really enjoyed it. So I had a lot of hopes going into this movie, and oh my god, this has some really dark shit. This is a pretty fucked movie. This has a lot of stuff. You know, it does repeat a lot of stuff that the other movies already did. Like, you got a typical demon at the end of the movie, yay, and the main little girl does get possessed and tries to attack the other characters and kill them, kind of familiar to what the other movies did. But it's done a little bit differently in this movie, so I can kind of appreciate it a little more. And there's just a lot of fucked up, weird, creepy shit in this movie that will give you nightmares for sure. And yeah, some of the characters are not too bad. There's some decent characters, and the scares are pretty good, most of them. And I don't really know what else to say about this movie. It's pretty good. I remember not really liking it at first, but looking back, I think it's really not too bad. I wouldn't say it's, I would say Lights Out is still a bit better, but it's still not a bad movie, man. It's actually pretty good. I wouldn't say it's amazing, but it is pretty good. It's got some really fucked up shit. There's like a lot of fucked up shit in this movie, and knowing it's from the same guy who directed Shazam, that's pretty crazy, man. But it's also not too surprising knowing he, did this. Overall, Annabelle Creation actually isn't too bad. There are some really interesting stuff shown in this movie. There are some really dark stuff, some creepy stuff. Like, it's good, man. Coming to number 2 is going to be The Conjuring 2. Guys, this movie is fun. This movie is a lot of fun. I mean, all the other movies are just kind of like, they're decent, I guess. And Annabelle Creation is it's pretty good and really creepy and dark. This movie is just fun. To me, this is a really, really fun movie to the Conjuring universe. I don't know, I really enjoyed this movie the first time I watched it. There are some just cool scenes in this movie, like this scene of Ed talking to the old man ghost living in the house, because you can see it in the blurry background, you can see it's just a little girl sitting on the chair, but as the scene slowly continues, like, she just transitions into like the old man. It's like fucking crazy. It's really cool. And the Warrens are in this movie, like, pretty much just like the whole time, and they're a lot of fun to watch, and they're also pretty funny.
I don't think I can sleep this far away from you.
It'll give you something to look forward to when we get home.
And of course, the movie has its jump scares, but they're not scary.
My house! Not me, man. That's not me.
Either way, The Conjuring 2 is a pretty well-made movie. It's just a lot of fun. It does have some pretty creepy moments here and there, and some pretty terrifying jump scares. Like, this dude, James Wan, is really good with his jump scares. And, yeah, but overall, I found the movie a lot more fun. So, yeah, Conjuring 2, a lot of fun. But coming out to number 1 is gonna have to be The Conjuring, the first ever one. I was trying to figure out out of The Conjuring 2 or Conjuring 1. Conjuring 2 it's a fun movie and all, but Conjuring 1 I think is a little bit more scarier. And, these movies are meant to be scary. They're horror movies, so I had to choose the scariest one, and that had to be the first Conjuring movie. This has some really scary shit in this movie. I mean, it's also pretty fun at times, and a lot of the characters are very likable, and you do feel pretty bad for some of the characters as well. But there's also some really terrifying scenes in this movie, like we are introduced to Annabelle for the first time, and it is fucking nightmarish. It is terrifying. We got the mom character in this movie being possessed, and it is actually creepy in this movie. She looks creepy and ugly and disgusting, and she's just terrifying. And when she's chasing after the little girl with the knife, it's also pretty creepy. And this scene, whatever this scene is, I have no idea. It was creepy as fuck, and yeah, okay, yeah, it's creepy, man. And this jump scare always gets me. Look what you made me do! I still remember my reaction to that jump scare, man. Holy crap, that got me good, man. I fucking shat myself like 1 second. I screamed out loud for everyone to hear, and it was pretty awkward. But nah, that's a good thing though. Conjuring 1, man, is it's a pretty fun movie. It's also really heartfelt at times with the whole family stuff, and it's also really fucking scary. So yeah, that's pretty much why I'm putting it as the best Conjuring movie. Alright guys, this is going to be the end of my Conjuring Universe movies ranking video. Press your comments down below of what you guys thought of all these movies and your ranking for all of them. And yeah, this music's really creeping me out, so turn that off and I'm going to bed. Good night. Oh my god, what the fuck?